Good evening. Today is February 17th. My name is Chair Ross Ritter, and I bring the Parks and Recreation Commission to order. Mr. Fisher, may I have a roll call, please?
Yes, let the record show all commissioners are present.
Thank you. And if everyone who can stand can join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please take your seats. And if at this time, if the commissioners and any of the general public could just check your cell phones, make sure they're in silent mode, that would be fantastic. Let's move on to special presentations and proclamations, which it looks like for today we have none. So keep moving forward to oral communications. Do we have any oral communications for tonight?
We have no oral communications for tonight.
All right, so you're making my last meeting simple. No changes to the agenda. We'll move on to approval of minutes for the January 20th meeting. We had 4 commissioners that were present, and we had 3 commissioners that were absent. For those commissioners that were absent, if you've viewed the website and viewed the video, you're certainly welcome to vote in the approval of the minutes. At this point, may I have a motion to approve the minutes for the January 20th meeting?
I move approve of the minutes.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
And we'll put it to vote.
And the minutes are approved with 5 yes and 2 abstained.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much. Moving on to action item 8A, Parks and Recreation Commission Work Plan. If we could pull that up. All right, in the January meeting, we have the 4 commissioners that were in attendance. We had started to go through the work plan items, and we had gotten through to work plan item number 7 with regards to reviewing the outcome language. I would like it to open it up to any other commissioners that were not in attendance, or if there are some additional comments that the commissioners that were in the meeting last month would like to add to any changes to the outcome copy for the first 7 work plan items. If not, then what we'll do is we'll move on and start with work plan item number 8. So I'll take silence as that we're happy with the work plan items up through item number 7. So looking at work plan item number 8 regarding the pop-up parks at city events, the lead on that was Vice Chair Evers. You have any questions or comments for the commission?
No.
And how does the commission feel regarding the outcome language? All right. All right, so the work plan outcome language for 8 sounds good. So let's move on to number 9, the Trails Master Plan. Perhaps before we look at the outcome language, I know that in the agenda that there was a presentation for this work plan item from the Trails Committee. I noticed it was in the agenda.
Manager Norgard has it, so I don't know if he passed it on to you.
It's it's right there.
Okay.
Would you like me to tab through it at this point in time?
Mr. Quinn?
Yeah, I think the 3 of us that are on the ad hoc will address each one of our contributions.
Yeah, so I walked on Wishbone Trail after the rain, unfortunately for me. But yeah, it was great. It was somewhere I'd never been, kind of back tucked in there, but really cute. I definitely could see there was like equestrian possibilities there. And then there's like elevation, and then it connects to some other trails too, and easy parking. So it's good.
Okay, this is Adams Run. It begins at the corner of Fortuna Ranch and Adams Run Road. There's street parking at Fortuna Ranch, which, parking on the trails is something I'm always, conscious of. A lot of the trails, especially out in East and 11 Hain, there's not a lot of parking. There's, parking on the streets, and it leads to a community of 6 homes, and in the far eastern limits of Encinitas and 11 Hain, it just about touches Rancho Santa Fe and Escondido. Next slide. It's an easy, short walk shared with a lot of horse trails, and it connects with Sunrise Trail. And you head east on Sunrise. It's flanked by ranchers and opens up to a stunning view of the east hills, valleys, and a variety of wildlife. Next. And then I was hoping that would loop back to Fortuna Ranch Road, but it turns into a private trail, or what used to be a trail, a city trail, but the homeowner decided he didn't want people up there riding bikes and motorbikes and making a mess of it. So it's private property, but I still walk through it to get there.
Yeah. I think the last one is Manchester Preserve, which is off of Manchester as you're heading east. It's a canyon hike. With a loop trail system that also you enter off of Manchester, and there's a photo there of the dirt area where you can park. So parking is pretty good, but I saw that as I was walking that you can actually access it from various neighborhoods too that are up at the top of the canyons. So for the neighbors around there, it's a nice way to get in. I went, it was before it rained, and so but the city had been out putting up sandbags and things, and so, because it is a little more rugged trail in some spots. There are a lot of animals, at least on the signs, saying that they're there. I've seen deer and coyotes myself, so I'm sure the others that are on the list are there too. And it has a lot of really nice chaparral views and vistas. It's about 2 hours to walk all the trails, 3 to 4 miles with stops. Next slide. So this is on the lower canyon, so closer to Manchester itself. Nice, blue sky and, chaparral type of plant life. Next. And then if you're up at the top and you make it up to the top near where the power lines are and looking southeast and looking west, you have pretty large vistas, and so it's quite nice up at the top there. Next slide. That's it? Or that's it, okay. Yeah, thank you. So it's a good hike, and quite a few people when I was out there the day I went.
Thank you very much for the presentation, and I have enjoyed seeing the presentations throughout the year on the various trail systems in Encinitas. So it's great to see that. So thank you for sharing. Moving back to the outcome copy for work plan item number 1, the plans master plan. Any comments from the commission regarding the outcome copy?
One of the things on the goals was to work on the outer spatial, and Manager Norgard informed us that they hired somebody new to work on the outer spatial, and we have a meeting set up next Tuesday, I believe.
Oh, we do?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll forward it to you too. Yeah. I don't know what, at this point right now, what happens with some of us leaving who are on the ad hoc. I think it'd be very important for the new ad hoc to go to that meeting, but we don't know who they're going to be yet. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Question, is this person is now like a consultant, or are they a staff member?
Staff.
So it's something that could be like rescheduled, and if we have to
Certainly.
do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Matter of fact, I'll shoot David, Manager Norgard, an email and let him know. And would you still go?
I'll probably still go because I uploaded all these files to David today. I think he sent me a link to their folder. So I sent this presentation, our other ones, all kinds of everything I had pulled together for him. So I think we might, if you guys can go, and we'll make sure he has everything in that folder first.
Yeah.
That would be great. If you don't want to go, it's okay.
Yeah, I'll try to attend also.
All right, fantastic. And do you feel a need to update the outcome copy at all, or are you happy with what it is as is? Because I don't think it, let's see. I think you're still assisting in updating the outer spatial application. So I think you've probably pretty well covered it still. Great. If there are no other comments or suggestions from the commission, we'll go ahead and move on to number 10, naming of the and possible future use for the city land located there on the corner of La Costa Avenue and Highway 101. And the lead here is Commissioner Komarov. Anything you want to speak to on that?
Yeah, we got together with the subcommittee, and we got together with Mr. Norgard, and we agreed on the text here. There's not a lot done there because of the construction that is ongoing and will continue to go on for probably another 12 months. We figured this was the best way to status it. Not a lot's going on. I don't think we could do any community engagement at this point based on the condition of the property and the site and the parking. We put together some snapshot of where we are in this time, and we submitted that to last week. It's in last week's notes. So I think we could go with this text if everybody's okay with that. The one thing that and maybe we could work on it next year, is I think the property is being referred to as the property located at the northeast corner of Highway 101 and La Costa Avenue. And while we did not come up with a name for the place because that was part of this, we might want to come up with a shortened way in case the city council wants to discuss this, they will not have to use that name every time. And I think I spoke with Mr. Norgard about just getting us the address of the place, and we could use it as the 10 La Costa Avenue. Is it Boulevard or Avenue? So that's the one thing that I'd say was outstanding here, but it's really not very important to close this item. We could always work on it next year.
Sounds good.
For the property located in the northeast corner of Highway 101 and La Costa Avenue.
Any other comments or thoughts from the commission? All right, so we'll move on to work plan item number 11 regarding the pollinator garden. And Commissioner Vander Aura, you're the lead on that.
I was just reading. It looks good, except is the last line correct still, the January 2026? I wasn't sorry here.
Yes, they were
Okay.
invited. Thank you. This is hopefully one of these ad hocs that we'll pick up next year as well. The commission will. I think we're really close. Any additional comments or thoughts from the commission? All right, we'll move on to number 12. We're getting through this pretty quickly tonight. This one is one of our most prominent work plan items this year, and there's been some great work done on it. And Commissioner Kimball, did you want to say anything to it since you're the lead?
I think that the language still reflects where we were at the time that we put the summary together. I think, does it say that we release the memos to the city council? I'd have to look it quickly. We did make recommendations to staff, so the only thing that I would say is that next year, there's still work to do in this ad hoc, so depending on what the city council decides, going through our recommendations, what they decide to, want to pursue or not. And I think there's still quite a bit more work to do in the volleyball space. We didn't get that far on that this year, so, but I think the text reflects what we were able to get done.
And when you
Any
take a look at the
suggestions?
text, it's probably the largest amount of text of all the work plan items. So there was obviously a lot of work done on this work plan item. So thank you to the three commissioners that participated in this ad hoc.
And this could have probably been like 2 or 3 ad hocs, actually, so that's
Yeah.
why it's so big, so.
I think that's the focus of the city council. They want more focus on these topics right here.
Yeah. So maybe,
Several work
for the next year, it may become a couple different work plans, because they do have different, while they're similar, they do kind of have their own themes, so.
All right, so we'll move on to work plan item number 13, which is regarding marketing. And Commissioner Vander Aurora, do you have any comments on the outcome on that?
This statement's correct. Just wonder if anybody might want to add that we also engage with the community and passed out the brochures also at events and mentioned activities and things while we were at the pop-up parks and movie night, stuff like that. Maybe at
That's a good idea. Can someone on the commission actually offer exact copy that you would like to be added to that outcome language? Since Commissioner Vander Aurora actually brought that up,
All right.
maybe you might suggest something?
commissioners also engaged with the residents at city events and promoted the activity guide.
Can I just suggest, can we just add after local businesses and at community events? Would that work?
Yes. That's a good way to encompass that by just, yeah, I agree with you.
Would pop-up parks be lumped in with city events? Yeah.
Well, the other thing that we could do, since it's our pop-up park and it is our work plan, we could certainly advertise our pop-up parks and just list it as local businesses, community events, and commission pop-up parks. We'll put a little feather in our own cap, right? So then I'll read it back based upon my understanding. So the new work plan item for number 13 would be commissioners promoted and distributed copies of the activity guide at local businesses, community events, and commission pop-up parks or Parks and Recreation Commission pop-up parks to help spread awareness of programs and activities. Okay, great. So we'll go ahead and substitute that language for number 13. And moving on to our last one on Adventure Lab and geocaching programming. And Commissioner Kimball, you were the lead on that one?
Yes. So we had the two events where we worked and supported the Adventure Lab. And after that, those two events, there really wasn't any activity that we were pulled into with that. So there's really nothing else to add after May of last year. I think it would be worth maybe next year with the Youth Commission, reaching out to them again and seeing if there are ways that we can collaborate. It seems like they're, I don't know what their charters are, but it seems like there would be some overlap with Parks and Rec overall, so sort of suggestion for the next year. I don't think I capitalized on that in this last year.
And I think there may even be opportunities with the Arts Commission with their art nights as
Correct.
well.
Yeah.
So I think
Yes, that's a
it would
great
be nice
suggestion.
to coordinate inter-commission involvement in this project. And I think it would be great to have those commissions be kind of a resource for the Youth Commission to help mentor them as well. So I love the intergenerational aspect of our commissions working together with the youth commissions on this particular work plan item. Thank you for your work on that. Any comments or suggestions on this last work plan item?
I was just going to add to your suggestion, Chair, is the Senior Commission also. So when I volunteered at one of the art nights when we had the Adventure Lab, there were, it was at the Senior Center, and there were seniors that were assisting with the table with the Adventure Labs, with me. So, yeah, don't forget them too.
Absolutely. You know, that's a very good point. Thank you for bringing that up. So there are actually 4 commissions that are associated with the Parks and Recreation Cultural Arts Department. So this is an opportunity really for all 4 commissions to kind of come together and work on this together, which I think would be great. So thank you for bringing that up. All right, so with that said, the commission's reviewed our projected outcome language that would be sent up to City Council later on this year. It seems as if we seem to be in agreement on the language. So at this point, I would just like to put out a motion to approve the work plan outcome language as described. And do I have a second?
I'll second.
And Vice Chair seconds. And if we could put that to a vote, please. All right, fantastic. So it passes unanimously. Thank you very much to all the commissioners for making this last meeting a lot easier, because we've spent the last couple months kind of refining what our work plan language would end up being. And it does make it easier than trying to draft it up here on the last month. So thank you very much for being so proactive. I appreciate it. We have one more action item on the agenda, and that's for the Sand Toy Recycle Project. And we had a presentation last month from Kimmy York, who actually is in the audience, regarding the nonprofit that she leads called the Sand Toy Recycle Project. And she gave a great explanation during her special presentation as to what the nonprofit is and how partnering with the city of Encinitas and doing a trial at Moonlight Beach during this summer of 2026, and then doing some reporting in the fall to see what the success of the program was. I think that that's something that would be something that I would like to move forward for our commission to make a recommendation to City Council to do. The good news is that the Parks and Rec Department has vetted it, Marine Safety has vetted the program. They're both on board to proceed. So at this point, what Kimmy would then do would be go to City Council and make a special presentation to them. But in that packet, when she makes her presentation, I would like to include a recommendation from our commission to support her efforts. She's here in the audience today. If the commission had any questions, and particularly any commissioners that didn't have an opportunity to see her presentation, she's certainly here to answer any questions that you might have.
I don't have any more clarification questions for her, but was at the last meeting, and I'm really glad we put this on as an agenda item to discuss further. And I would vote to recommend this to City Council. Is this something that would require anything other than just here's their presentation and we recommend the city engage, or would it involve something more?
What I would recommend, I have a particular motion that I've written that I would verbally say to the commission at this point. And if you're in agreement with it, then that would be what we would send up to City Council. And it's basically just one sentence. And then, of course, Kimmy would then include all of her supporting material when she goes to council to make her presentation. This is what I would recommend in support of her nonprofit as a motion to send up to City Council. Following the Sand Toy Recycling Project Commission presentation on January 20th, 2026, and noting the successful vetting by Marine Safety and Parks and Recreation staff, the Parks and Recreation Commission recommends the City Council approve the implementation of a summer 2026 pilot program at Moonlight Beach with Sand Toy Recycling Project, with a report back on program efficacy in fall 2026. And I know that there's a lot of words in that one sentence, so if you'd like me to read that back at all, I'm happy to do so. One more time? Okay. Following the Sand Toy Recycling Project Commission meeting, I'm sorry, let me back up. Following the Sand Toy Recycling Project Commission presentation on January 20th, 2026, and noting the successful vetting by Marine Safety and Parks and Recreation staff, the Parks and Recreation Commission recommends the City Council approve the implementation of a summer 2026 pilot program at Moonlight Beach with Sand Toy Recycling Project, with a report back on program efficacy in fall 2026.
I have one question. With the, this is the putting the box at Moonlight Beach. That doesn't say anything about the other things that the nonprofit does with the educational workshops and the beach cleanups and such. This is just the box.
Correct.
Okay.
I think in the sense that she can do her educational programming outside of the confines of what City Council would have to approve regarding placing the beach or the box on the beach. So it's mainly suggesting that
Got it.
we allow that.
Right. No, got it. All right. No, that's great.
Vice Chair Evers?
Thank you, Chair, for bringing the language. Would it be appropriate to also add in your proposed language that there's no impact, fiscal impact, and then there's no concern from environmental analysis per the memo? And to add that in somewhere in there, because I know there's different organizations. Sometimes when they've asked to do different things, sometimes there's a fiscal impact, but we're also saying based on the city's recommendations, there's not a fiscal impact. Just wondering if that would be appropriate to add and to push forward.
And Kimmy, could you step up to the mic for a second?
Hello.
Thank you so much, and thank you very much for taking time out of your evening to come to our meeting tonight. I would imagine that there's no fiscal impact. I just wanted to kind of hear from your standpoint. Do you see any fiscal impact that the city would end up being involved with in having you do a pilot program at Moonlight Beach?
No, we're specifically structuring this so that there would be no impact in terms of there's no permanency to this box, and there's also no taxing the city in any way in terms of maintaining the box. We are insured for the box, so it's really just sort of, as we see it, it's like an extension of the work that you've done over the last several years with the ordinances regarding plastic bags and helium balloons and such. And for those of us who walk the beach on a daily basis, we know that, and we've read in your language that one of the aims in each of those ordinances was to protect wildlife. And we feel that from our analysis, and many of us are scientists, there's a much greater impact from plastic toys being left on the beach in terms of harm to wildlife than plastic bags or helium balloons. So this is just a sort of simple and elegant way to achieve those environmental aims that doesn't tax the city. It's the box is connected to an existing post with a chain, a lock chain. The box is not worth a lot of money. There's no concern that there would be any kind of vandalism or stealing of the box. Many beachside cities in our country have already done this, including distant places like Virginia Beach and our neighbors here in Oceanside. So we feel that there have been such great outcomes. You can read about the Virginia Beach project. They started with 2 sandboxes, and now the city has 11. So this is, just the kind of stuff that we pick up on a daily basis. In the summer season, where we're asking that the box be piloted from Memorial Day weekend through Labor Day weekend. We would be regularly monitoring, taking photos of what's collected, weighing the plastic, and giving you a report on what we do with the plastic that we collect. So anything that's in good condition is washed and put back in the box so that we have, children are able to use these toys and return them. It's like a lending library, and anything that's in any way damaged or inappropriate is taken out of the box. And we have, there's sort of a decision tree in terms of what happens to those items that get removed from the box. So that's the long answer to your question. The short answer is no impact.
Oh, is it? Great. So another thing that we might be able to say is there would be no fiscal impact to the city of Encinitas with a positive environmental impact and a new community amenity.
And there's no taxing of city resources. Where we are self-funded, we are self-insured, and we have adult volunteers. I think that's kind of a little bit of an important distinction between this program and the one in Oceanside. So in Oceanside, the Girl Scout who proposed that project, she and her family have since moved to Colorado, and they did find someone else to take over the monitoring of the box. But our team are all local residents who have lived here and intend to continue living here for many, many years, retire here. So we have a dedicated staff that will monitor it. It's a, adult-led program.
I think adding that type of language to the statement would be great. Did we want to say anything with regards to the, it's kind of like having an additional community amenity in the fact that there will be toys already at the beach. If you want to arrive even without toys, you should be able to find some there in the chest. So I'm just wondering, do we want to maybe mention that in that statement as well when we talk about environmental and fiscal impacts? Yeah.
Might want to mention that this is not like a completely novel program. It's been very successful in other places, so a lot of upside to it, and there hasn't been any kind of negative impact because of these boxes. And we ours are weatherproof. They are, some of them are sort of crude. They take like old wooden pallets and they make a box and they just like staple a sign to it. Ours are a more enduring type of thing. But I'll bring the box to the meeting so that the box can be vetted. But it's a model that we feel like we have sort of taken a model that's been successful and thought about like ways in which we can enhance the model.
I don't know whether or not like the city would need to take this into consideration and have her present again. I don't know if that's like normal procedure. And if so, they're going to get the answers to these questions. But I do note with what's attached to the agenda statement that Manager Norgard put together, slide, how our project works, we're really talking about that third bullet item, which is numbered 1, but it's the third one on that sheet that starts with install and monitor recycling stations. And that pretty much explains what we're suggesting the city take on. And it includes take a toy, leave a toy, save the ocean, and infographics. And that's what they're proposing. I think that's what you're suggesting we recommend to the city. And I think you can probably clarify that the summer includes from Labor Day to Memorial Day, or Memorial Day to Labor Day. At this point, it's more than one sentence.
Yes.
I'm kind of thinking it's almost like a short paragraph, maybe 4 or 5 sentences, because I think the clarifications that the other commissioners have had are good. And I know that just for myself, I wasn't here last month. I did watch it. When I look through the content here, that's why I asked the question of what we were actually recommending, because there are 3 things in the approach on how the project works. And you're right, number 1 and the first number 1 and number 2 don't require the city council to make any decisions on anything. And so being more clear that, that even including the dates, like you said, from Memorial Day to Labor Day, a brief paragraph. You don't have to overwrite like I did on my things, but maybe a paragraph makes it easier for people to understand the scope.
And I can take out that this was just sort of a general introduction, like who we are and, explaining to Parks and Rec what we're about and what resources and what sort of skills and acumen we bring to the table.
I think it's good.
I can take some of that doesn't pertain out.
I personally think it's useful. I think just if we have a memo at the top that summarizes what our recommendation is with 1 paragraph, all of the other information in your presentation I think is great. So I wouldn't recommend removing it. I don't know how others feel.
And this is just Manager Norgard just actually attached the presentation that she had given us
Right.
from the previous meeting.
Right. So, is it something that in the memo that he put together here, I guess he did this, would your recommendation, so the recommended action is discuss the Santoy recycle project, and would it be that the recommended action is your original sentence plus 2 or 3 more, and that closes it out then?
I think that would probably do it. So maybe my original sentence, but being more, rather than calling it a summer 2026 pilot program, or I could put in parentheses from Labor Day to Memorial Day if we wanted to be specific.
Memorial Day to Labor Day.
or Memorial Day to Labor Day, yes, the other way around. Thank you. Then we could certainly do that. The other things that we wanted to emphasize, it sounds like, was the no fiscal impact to the city. And then we were also talking about discussing perhaps the positive environmental impact, and then also the kind of additional community amenity that would be there at the beach. So maybe let's first discuss, do we want all those things included in our recommendation, or just some of it we feel might be covered in her presentation regarding it being a new community amenity. So I think we were all in agreement that we think the no fiscal impact to the city is good to be in there.
If you were to ask to vote for a recommendation that would include all of those points to be made as part of the recommendation, I would be in favor of that.
Okay. Any other opposing thoughts with regards to having all three of those being in the recommendation? Okay. And then are we okay just spending a few minutes to figure out exactly what that verbiage is going to be? That's always the fun part. So I think we got the first sentence, and we'll add in Memorial Day to Labor Day in there. So then I think we could probably just put it together in one sentence, that there would be no fiscal impact to the city of Encinitas.
They want to say physical or financial, or not asking for any money. I think that's usually important.
Yeah, fiscal impact, I think, is kind of the terminology that the city uses to kind of address that. But thank you for the suggestion. So I guess it's how do we communicate the positive environmental impact, and how do we communicate the kind of additional community amenity that would be added to the beach.
If part of our recommendation would include the presentation slides and the like this item number, we reviewed this. I would just say, as you know, per the information provided to us, we recommend that they're be allowed to put the toy box in and have that language that's in that slide that I mentioned. I would say that's just one way to approach it.
Well, they'll definitely get a slide presentation, which you may use the same one, you may adapt it to City Council. I would say another way of looking at it is we just kind of say, hey, we recommend this program, and not necessarily get into all the benefits, because there's more benefits than just what we've listed. You know, it's not, it's less harmful to ocean wildlife. It's, you know, less plastic that needs to be made to make toys because they're already there at the beach. So there are a lot of advantages that I know Kimmy has done a good job of outlining in her presentation that perhaps we don't need to regurgitate in our recommendation. So kind of with the thought that you had there, maybe we should just say that there would be no fiscal impact to the city of Encinitas, and maybe just leave it at that. What have we thought about that? Okay. So for specifics, so that when Manager Norgard goes back to writing up the recommendation that we're offering, I'll go ahead and read what I think we want, and let me know if we should change. So following the Sand Toy Recycling Project Commission presentation on January 20th, 2026, and noting the successful vetting by Marine Safety and Parks and Recreation staff, the Parks and Recreation Commission recommends the City Council approve the implementation of a summer 2026 pilot program from Memorial Day to Labor Day at Moonlight Beach with Sand Toy Recycling Project, with a report back on program efficacy in fall 2026. There would be no fiscal impact to the city of Encinitas. Okay, great. So may I, I'd like to make the motion to go ahead and approve that language and make a recommendation to City Council as such.
Second.
And if we could vote on that? All right, so it passes unanimously. Kimmy, thank you very much. We are so excited about the opportunity of hopefully working with you and your organization in this upcoming summer. So I appreciate you coming to me and working with Mark O'Connor, who's an environmental commissioner. So again, we have a couple commissions that are working together on projects, which I love to see. So thank you so much for your great idea, for all the work that you put into it. And we're one step closer to making that happen. So
It's my
I'm
pleasure.
sure Manager Norgard will get in touch with you, and we'll see if we can schedule to get you onto the City Council's agenda in a meeting coming up soon.
Thank you, council members. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Looking forward to working with you.
All right, so that finishes our action items. Let's move on to our informational items. And today we have someone that's going to be filling all roles, and she's actually a fill-in for everything. So we'll go ahead and pass it over to you, and you can give us both the park operations report and the recreation services report.
Thank you, Chair Ritter. I have the department updates for the Recreation Services report. We do not have a park operations report this evening. January was a vibrant month at the Encinitas Community and Senior Center. There were over 6,400 visits to the center in January. There were more than 600 gym visits and over 1,300 visitors in the banquet hall. And the Park and Recreation and Cultural Arts Department had over 1,200 fee-based course registrations for January programs. Save the dates. We have some programs coming up here that you'll want to mark your calendars for. Senior Lifestyle Expo, Living Boldly and Living Well, on Saturday, February 21st. That's from 9 to 12 p.m., and that'll be at the Encinitas Community and Senior Center. And it's hosted by the Chamber of Commerce in partnership with the City of Encinitas. And then there's a mandatory commission workshop. This one's important. It's going to be held on Thursday, February 26th at 6 p.m. in council chambers, and it will be presented by the city attorney, who will be reviewing the commission handbook, which will also include the Brown Act. And attendance for all commissioners starting in March will be required. Summer and spring camp registration opens on Monday, March 2nd at 8 a.m. And then the annual spring egg hunt will be on Saturday, April 4th at 10:15 a.m. for the first egg hunt. And that again will be at Encinitas Community Park. If you plan on volunteering at that event, if you can please let me know and shoot me an email. My email address, so you have it, is cgoodsell@encinitasca.gov. And I can reach out to you with an email as well to check in and see who's going to be there. Arbor Day celebration is on Saturday, April 18th from 9 to 12 at Hawkview Park. And Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Arts will host a craft table with a fun art project for kids, along with a booth featuring programs, events, and information. Art night will happen on Saturday, April 18th from 6 to 8 p.m. And of course, it'll be hosted at City Hall, the Encinitas Community and Senior Center, the Encinitas Library, Pacific View Arts Center, and various galleries. There will be a free shuttle that will link the participating locations and galleries so you can get to each one. And then, of course, the big news and the sad news, gratitude for the commissioners who are leaving the Parks and Recreation Commission. So I would just want to give a big shout out and a sincere thank you to the Recreation Commissioners whose terms have concluded. Your dedication, insight, and commitment to serving the Encinitas community has made a lasting impact. Commissioner Quinn. He contributed across a wide range of initiatives, including volunteering at city events, updating bylaws, supporting improvements to the Outer Spatial app with trail photos and descriptions, offering recommendations on surf permitting, drafting a memo to City Council on the feasibility of an additional skate bowl, collaborating with Exposure Skate Park to support keeping the event in Encinitas, and champion parks, recreation, and cultural arts programs. And I understand we'll be serving on the Planning Commission. Okay. Vice Chair Kimberly Evers explored the pollinator garden opportunities at Pacific View, volunteered as Adventure Lab support at both Art Night in Cyclovia, and led pop-up park activities at community events, as well as promoted the activity guide at all the various events in Encinitas, amongst many other things. This is just a small portion of what you both have done. Moving on to Commissioner Kimball. Worked on offering recommendations on surf permitting and served on the ad hoc committee that recommended looking at feasibility of an additional skate bowl, as well as served on the Adventure Lab and geocaching programming ad hoc, and also was appointed to the Planning Commission. So it looks like your work is just getting started. And then finally, Chair Ritter. Chair Ritter researched and provided recommendations for outdoor adult fitness equipment, supported pop-up parks, explored pollinator garden opportunities at Pacific View, and volunteered also as Adventure Lab support at Art Night and Cyclovia. So you have done so much, all of you, and I want to thank you for your service, leadership, positive outcomes. You've helped to bring Parks and Recreation Encinitas, and your contributions have definitely strengthened our community, and we look forward to many ways in the future that our paths may cross. So thank you so much, and I have some treats for you at the conclusion of this meeting.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much for the report and the shout out for the commissioners. Let's move on down the agenda. Are there any commission member initiated agenda items? And moving on down to the next one. Any future agenda items that would like to be added by the commission? All right, so we'll move on to the commission reports roundtable, and I'll go ahead and start off. This is my last commission meeting, and hopefully you'll indulge me with a little time just to say a few comments. As I announced in the last meeting, I'm resigning from the Parks and Recreation Commission, and my decision is driven by my commitment to devote my full attention and energies to my new role as president of the Encinitas Project. And the Encinitas Project is their nonprofit mission is to champion and fundraise for the city's arts, parks, and recreation initiatives in order to enrich the lives of our residents and contribute to a thriving community. So what that means is I hope to continue to interact with the commission, but just perhaps in a different capacity. It's been an honor to serve and a pleasure as well for 5 years, 2 years as vice chair and 2 years as chair. I've enjoyed working with both current and past commissioners from previous years, as well as interacting with amazing Parks and Recreation staff. I'd like to publicly acknowledge our commission liaison, who is Park Manager David Norgard, for his support, responsiveness, sound advice, and encouragement while I've been serving as chair. I'd also like to thank Mr. Fisher here for being an amazing clerk to our commission. He's always kept us on task and great to ask questions if I need a little help with regards to running the meetings, so I certainly appreciate that. I did just want to mention that a lot of the things that we've been working on is something that we, as new commissioners, or the next commission, will also work on. There are a lot of ad hocs that just move on to the next year. There are 3, though, that I'd love for the commission to consider keeping that are not necessarily ones that are automatic rollovers. The first is the Parks and Recreation Commission's pop-up parks. This was an idea that I proposed and implemented while on the commission, and I think it's had tremendous success and community involvement. I think it's been a great opportunity for the commissioners to interact with the public and for them to understand what the Parks and Rec Commission is, as well as get information with regards to the Parks and Recreation Department. Plus, it's fun. It promotes intergenerational play. It's great to be out there playing with the kids. I see parents playing with their kids using all of our games or participating in our pickleball court during Cyclovia on Highway 101. So I would love to see that ad hoc continue on. If you do decide to continue doing the commission's pop-up parks, please reach out to me, because the Encinitas project would continue to donate some of the lawn games that we've donated in the past. We have like junior cornhole, we have like a jumbo Connect 4, and we have a super popular plastic axe throwing game that, I mean, they just get in long lines for that one. We have offered those games for the movie nights this last year, as well as Cyclovia and Arbor Day, and we would love to do that in the future as well. And, you know, if you get to the point where you need help drawing out that pickleball court on Highway 101, I'm your man, so I'm happy to help with that as well. The second ad hoc that I'd love for you to continue on is the Pollinator Garden at Pacific View Arts Center. And I think we've made some headway, even with the fire station kind of delaying kind of our progress on that until it was completely built. But I know that we have a group of interested, dedicated community members that are looking to support that project. And I think it's just a matter of figuring out exactly what tasks the city is going to take on, and then what our community partners can take on. And I think it's going to be a wonderful educational benefit to the community. And then, of course, our monarch butterflies and other pollinators would greatly appreciate it as well. And then my final one, and this was really the reason why I even got involved in Parks and Rec, is the idea of adding more outdoor fitness equipment to our city parks. And this is something that I proposed the first year I was on the commission, and you know, it's been 5 years, and it's been a lot of work, but I've seen these fitness courts in other cities and other countries all around the world, and it's amazing. And I think that there's no better place to have this type of amenity than here, right here in Encinitas. We have beautiful weather. We have very fit, conscious people, and I would love the city to be able to offer this amenity and have it be a free amenity that anyone could enjoy. So I am hoping that, or I had hoped that those 2 fitness facilities at Orpheus and at Glen Park that are on the drawing board would have been implemented by the time my term ended, but unfortunately, that will probably be later on this year. But I would hope that the commission and the department kind of continue to advocate for free adult fitness equipment where feasible in our parks when we're replacing playground equipment. I also wanted to express my congratulations and best wishes to my fellow commissioners. Commissioner Quinn and Kimball are elevating to the Planning Commission next month. Congratulations to you both. Having worked with you, I'm sure you'll be a great value to that commission. So congrats. I'd also wanted to congratulate Commissioners Vander O'Hara and Capiello for being reappointed as Parks and Recreation Commissioners. The commission will lean on you and Commissioner Cormorant's leadership and experience as you welcome 4 new commissioners next year, or next month. I'd also like to thank Vice Chair Evers for her service to the commission. I've really enjoyed working with you, and on joint ad hocs, at the parks, pop-up parks, and I really appreciate your leadership that you've shown during being my vice chair to lead those meetings that I was unable to attend. And I really appreciate your commitment and dedication to Encinitas. So thank you very much for your service. In closing, I just wanted to offer some final thoughts on why the work of this commission is so vital. While other city commissions often focus on the must-haves of infrastructure and regulation, the Parks and Recreation Commission focuses on the heart of Encinitas. We're the architects of the spaces where community actually happens, where a child learns to ride a bike, a senior finds connection in a fitness class, and a neighbor becomes friends at a pop-up park. Our parks and programs are the primary way our residents experience their quality of life. As you welcome 4 new members next month, I encourage you to never lose sight of that impact. Continue to be bold in your advocacy, stay curious about new ways to play, and remember that every bench, garden, and trail you champion is a gift to future generations of Encinitas. It's been an honor to serve alongside you. I look forward to supporting your continued success from my new vantage point at the Encinitas project. Thank you. You know me, I'm always been so verbose. All right, so we'll go ahead and continue on with the commission reports with Vice Chair Evers.
I'll go next. Thank you so much, Chair. That was beautifully said. So this is also my last meeting. I just wanted to also add on to your thanks to thank the community that's come out over the last couple of years. I know people take time out of their lives, their jobs, time with their families and friends to come to our meetings or come to our events and make suggestions, give us feedback and things like that. And without that engagement, we wouldn't have, the ability to move things forward. So thank you to the community, thank you to the staff, and thank you to my peers, former and current commissioners. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you.
That was awesome. I really appreciate you, Mr. Ritter. Now, are you officially still? I guess you are. Commission Chair Ritter, we're still in force. I really, really appreciate how you've conducted these meetings. I think it's like a lesson in how to prepare and give thought to anything that's in front of us to help guide the commissioners to figuring out how to best represent our communities. And I'm going to be really sad to see you go, but I know you're doing good things and you're going to still contribute to the city and the parks. And I'm looking forward to seeing how the Encinitas project really thrives. And I know it will under your presidency. I'm sure there's a lot of people who are working with you too as volunteer, I hope. So I hope to see you more, and this isn't the end of that. But other than that, I do want to say congrats to Commissioners Kimball and Quinn, and I really appreciated working with you both. You guys are really hard workers and have good passion for the city that I appreciate. And so you'll be great. And the Planning Commission, I know it's a lot more work, 2 meetings a month. I don't know how, you guys are looking for stuff to do. No. But I'm going to be sad to see you guys go. And I really hope that Commissioner Evers puts in, because I was really confused about how that meeting went when they appointed new commissioners. And I'm proud to continue to represent my community on this commission. I love what we do here. I do think it has an impact on our community more than people want to appreciate. And we kind of tease that this is sort of, Parks and Rec, and it's not that important, but I think we did some really important things this year. And I know Commissioner Evers has been a great part of this, so I really hope you put your name in, because my understanding is there's still spots because they filled spots. I was a bit confused about how it went, but it sounds like they need to kind of put it back out to the public to get more names or something. But, right, isn't there like, we got 4, I don't know if there's clarification, they filled 4, but there's still 2 more that need to be filled? Is that what's going on?
Be mine that, now that I'm leaving, mine will.
It's
open up.
yours that's open, okay. So I'm hopeful you don't give up on us and put in, because you have my support. Anyway, I'll see Commissioners Vandevar and Cameron plenty next year. So thanks so much. It's been a good year.
Well, obviously, I echo a lot of what George says. Thank you so much, sir, for your mentorship and all your leadership here. I don't know what we're going to do without you. I mean, who's going to keep this thing moving along? And the other folks have been great working with you. Though I do take exception to the fact that the Planning Commission seems to be some type of promotion from here. I mean, I think it's a lateral move at best.
At best.
But yeah, really, this has been a great group, and thanks so much. Hopefully we'll have another good year, and hopefully we'll see the Planning Commission folks stop in anytime.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll keep it short. All of you have been wonderful to get to know and work with, and particularly Chair Ritter meeting with me when I first was appointed last year, and to give me the rundown on the work plan at the time and helping me get up to speed, because I was coming in at I was the only one coming in last year when there was the unscheduled vacancy, and I've really appreciated everyone's willingness to help me understand, work on projects together, and that includes city staff. Manager Hamer is gone now, but she particularly was very helpful whenever I was looking for statistics, and Manager Norgard and Director Knott. It's been a real pleasure. I really, your comment, Chair Ritter, about parks or where the community comes together, I truly believe that, and that was a lot of my original interest, was that's where we see people come together. And I saw in the work that I did, when you get out in the community, and if you just reach out to someone to say, hey, I heard you were interested in X, the amount of passion you get from the community. And so, yes, Parks and Rec, like maybe, someone like that's the JV league. Actually, you get to the heart of the community. No, I mean, I think someone at City Council said that. But it's where you actually see people who are passionate about, whether it's the skateboarding or the group that came in with the sports fields and how to utilize ECP more effectively. These are real things that real people do day to day, and your ability to help make an impact there, I think, is much bigger than others, or I might have thought before I came into this group. So yes, I'm moving to the Planning Commission. I'm kind of a detail nerd, so this probably suits me well. But yeah, it's a lateral move at best, and maybe I will be back here occasionally to see what's going on. And I would just hope that the ad hoc on the work that we started with the sports continues. I think there's a lot of great work, and also on the trails. I think there's a lot of opportunity to really market and get people engaged there more. But thank you all for all of your support and friendship through the year.
I'd like to say that my only regret is I can't serve on more than one commission, because it's going to be very hard to leave Parks and Rec. As Chairman Ritter said many times, this is the fun commission. And it's been a real pleasure working with a real bunch of talented co-commissioners. I mean, your resumes are impressive, your hard work, your dedication is impressive. I think one of the things that we haven't mentioned that came before us was pushing for L7 Park. Instead of it being another housing situation, it's going to be a park where, as Chairman Ritter said, that's where the community comes together. So that was a real accomplishment. But I think the biggest thing that I leave here is friendships with all of you. And, you know, I'll see you at Seaside Market or various French bakeries and places like that. And and I appreciate that. And you're all a bunch of good folks. But we still live here, so, right? So we're going to be around. With that, I'm done. Thank you.
Yeah, everything's been said already, but I do agree everyone here has contributed a lot to this commission, and I've also learned a lot from everyone as well. Each and every one has taught me something. So this has been a really great year. Looking forward to the next.
All right, thank you very much for your comments. And I guess this is the end for me. All right, so I'm going to adjourn the meeting at 6:44 p.m.